Is your hyperpigmentation product truly correct for your skin tone? If you struggle with, dark spots, melasma, or redness, you've probably tried a product promising to fade pigment. But here's the thing, not every pigment works the same way, and not every product is right for your unique skin tone. So your skin makes pigment through a process called melanogenesis. It all starts with an ingredient, tyrosine. And depending on how your melanocytes process it, you get one of two outcomes, eumelanin or pheomelanin. Eumelanin is the darker brown black pigment. It's protective, it absorbs UV, and it even acts like an antioxidant shield, which is fantastic. Pheomelanin is a lighter red-yellow pigment. It's weaker at UV protection, it's less stable, and it can actually create free radicals under sunlight. So what's the spark? What's the catalyst that makes melanin? It all starts with that amino acid we already talked about, tyrosine. When your skin senses stress, whether that's UV light, heat, inflammation, or even hormones, it activates an enzyme called tyrosinase. And for some of you, you're going ding, 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 tyrosinase inhibitor. We're connecting all the dots now. So tyrosinase converts tyrosine into DOPA, then into DOPA quinone. For my skincare junkies, I will detail DOPA and DOPA quinone in the description. From here, your body decides, do we go down the eumelanin pathway or the pheomelanin pathway? And here's why this matters. Hyperpigmentation products almost always target tyrosinase. So your hydroquinone, your kojic acid, your arbutin, all tyrosinase inhibitors, but not all pigment problems are only about tyrosinase. If your skin tends toward pheomelanin, your challenge isn't just pigment quantity, it's oxidative stress and redness. That's where my hero ingredient comes in, azelaic acid or antioxidants, and those are both critical. If you produce more eumelanin, you may not burn as easily, but you're prone to darker, deeper pigment spots. So when you do hyperpigmentate, it's pretty bad. For you, stronger inhibitors and transfer blockers are needed. So let's break it down by skin type. So fair, light skin, fits 1 and 2. I'm a fits 2 for your reference. I'm prone to freckles, redness, and oxidative stress. So I'm best supported by azelaic acid, antioxidants, and niacinamide. Medium skin, so that's fits 3 and 4, they often see melasma and or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So you all need kojic acid, tranexamic acid, plus niacinamide. So darker skin, fits 5 and 6, less UV sensitivity, which is fantastic, but pigment is darker and more stubborn, so FPF is still a must. Mild ingredients like arbutin, it's not going to cut it. You're going to need stronger inhibitors such as hydroquinone, kojic acid, tranexamic acid, or cysteamine are needed. Always pair with niacinamide and antioxidants. So the real question isn't what's the best serum, it's what's the best serum for your melanin type. And for some, it means calming oxidative stress, like for me. For others, it means blocking the catalyst tyrosinase. And for everyone, sunscreen is a non-negotiable. So, is your hyperpigmentation product truly correct for your skin tone? I would love to hear your feedback in the comments. And if this gave you any sort of aha moment, definitely hit that subscribe button for more science-backed skincare. And as I always say, skincare is a journey, not a destination. So stay hydrated, stay protected, and I'll see you in the next video.